During the months of June through November, residents of South Florida can anticipate rain to fall practically every day. Also during this time, residents prepare for the possible visit of a hurricane, since this time of year is also known as the peak of hurricane season. We decided to get ready for this season by visiting our staff and students from the Chemistry, Physics, and Earth Science Department at the Kendall Campus. During our visit, we learned much more than we expected, as we found out about a meteorology class and the weather station.
Actually, the meteorology class is a general education, general information class that gives you a little bit of background on what the weather is, how to look at it, how to look at the data and make sense out of it, what the background for the change of weather in our area is, and so on. And the meteorology lab is the part that gives you that data for you to be able to assess the weather in this area. Our meteorology weather station that we have at the Kendall campus measures all the physical parameters that are necessary for them to be able to take a look at a map and predict what is going to happen.
George Salinas, professor and chairman of the Chemistry, Physics, and Earth Science Department, tells us this project resurfaced at Miami-Dade College. Apparently, the campus had a weather station at one point, but it was destroyed in the early 90s after Hurricane Andrew swept through the area.
The weather station is a project that was brought about by the President's office 4 years ago. We used to have a weather station at the Kendall campus that was destroyed during Hurricane Andrew, and we were not able to offer our students the laboratories that go into the meteorology class because we didn't have the weather station. We were teaching the meteorology class, but we were not offering the labs. So 4 years ago, the president of the campus offered us the money to buy it.
The meteorology lab is needed mainly because there is only one other school in Florida that offers a meteorology bachelor's degree, which is Florida State. So kids really don't have an opportunity to view real live weather data, to work with it, except maybe in a software package. What we're offering is live, accessible data by the students, which is something that we don't have anywhere else. So it's important. We can tell them all about what it is in books, but to see it hands-on makes the biggest difference in the world.
The actual weather station is an outdoor camera that is found on a rooftop. The camera needs to be in a place where nothing is obstructing its path.
We're here on top of Building 9, on top of the world up here. The reason why, because we have our weather station installed up here. It gives free view for wind and light intensity. Everything that you possibly want to use is up here. It's also up here because this building has network access. It's got backup power, backup network. So during a hurricane, we can actually see live events going on around and all over campus. Since we can view a 360-degree view with the camera, we can pan around and see what's going on, what damage is occurring, what may possibly going to occur. So it's an aid for us. For the community, they can go on their desktop and view the camera still pictures and see what's happening outside without looking out their window. That is, if they still have power in their house.
Diane McKinney also tells us that just a few weeks ago, the weather station captured the image of a hanging wall cloud, and that image stirred up quite a commotion around campus.
Well, we had a little front come through here. We had a little excitement on campus. We had about a 50 or 60 knot wind pass through, and as we saw on the radar, we all got on the camera and went, "Oh my gosh, there's a tornado on campus!" So we panned the camera, got a shot of the hanging wall cloud. Unfortunately, our camera takes shots every 15 minutes. So by the time the tornado had danced its way down 107th Avenue, it had already passed our camera. But we did get a hanging wall, which was very, very good. It's a lot of information in a hanging wall cloud. And you can tell what possibly may occur, what may not occur. But it's a great thing. We captured it so we can show the students.
With all of this unpredictable weather in Miami, I think I may want to take a meteorology class. It seems like I'm not the only one whose interest is piquing to learn more about the weather and how the formation of clouds work. Since the Kendall Campus introduced this meteorology class a few years back, class enrollment has expanded to include credit and non-credit students, as well as 3 more classes. Class instructor Michael McGauley tells us that students who enroll in this class wind up getting more than they signed up for.
Well, the students come in thinking that clouds is maybe a day's worth of work, but then they're going to find out that clouds encompass everything there is about meteorology. It takes in relative humidity. You can't have a cloud without relative humidity at 100%. That takes into account how the atmosphere even gets up to get itself saturated. It takes into account the pressures and the convergence of the air. All these things come into play. So we spend the first 6 weeks going through each detail, and then finally we form a cloud. So at the beginning, when they thought it took a day just to learn about clouds, they realized that no, half the semester was spent learning how a cloud makes. And then of course from a cloud, we don't care really about clouds, we care about the rain that comes out of the cloud. So then they go to the next step after that to figure out, well, how do you go from a cloud to produce rain?
Well, since I've started taking this class, I've started to really realize so much. When I go outside and I see something starting to happen, I can kind of, I'm trying to already start telling my friends, hey, it's going to rain today, and then, or I'm, Tuesday there was this big storm, and I decided, I'm going to the weather website and look at the radar, and next thing you know, I even got it where I could predict that we'd hail when we just talked about hail the other day, and they talked about how it happened, and I saw the way it was moving, the way the radar was moving. If you looked in the upper level of the atmosphere, you could see that was going so high, it's going to cause it to hail, and I actually predicted it. So what has it done? It's given me a greater understanding of the meteorology course, and I've really just enjoyed it. Professor McGauley has really put forth a lot of effort in teaching us, and also we get to go over to the National Weather Service later on next month. So it's actually going to give me a chance to actually see how the real equipment works, see how real people are working in the industry. So overall, that's what I've got from it, I think. So.
Instructor Michael McGauley also takes his students on field trips to various locations, including the Hurricane Center and the Weather Service. The instructor has also been known to hold informational sessions for the employees of the campus. So for anyone who is interested in learning more about the weather here in the state of Florida, then this class is for you.
We have a sea breeze in Florida. We have a sea breeze because we have the Atlantic Ocean to the east, we have the Gulf of Mexico to the west, we have the Caribbean to the south. So when the day starts off and the sun's intensity starts coming in, all these sea breezes come in to converge at the center of our little peninsula, and from that it goes up and forms the clouds and the rain. So in California it's a little bit different. You have a sea breeze, but you don't have that huge convergence that we have here. We also have a warmer ocean here. California has a colder ocean. There's a reason behind that, due to the spin of the earth. If the earth spun the other way, California would have a lot of the rain. We would get a lot less rain. We'd have the colder oceans. They'd have the warmer oceans. So all of this has a play into the cloud and rain formation. And especially important, not only the cause of the rain, but we get all of our water from our aquifers, which get fed from Lake Okeechobee. So it's important to know, what brings us that rain, what brings us the vital rain. So it's not just a matter of having an umbrella, it's a matter of keeping us alive here.